Juan Soto is reminding everybody in baseball and all the fans across the world why he's one of the best hitters that we've seen of this generation, if not the best. Juan Soto, again, people were complaining and crying and moaning. He's hitting this, he's hitting that. Juan Soto, okay, over his last 21 games, I have the stats for you guys right down here. May 30th, 21 games, 24 of 70, hitting it at a 343 clip, 8 home runs, 4 doubles, continues to lead the league in walks. This is the guy that the New York Mets and the Mets fans have woken up and that we've signed for. He's only getting started now. He did it against the Braves, doing it against the Phillies, big game after big game over the last 21. This is the guy that we signed in the offseason. This is the Juan Soto that Met fans have been waiting for. This is the guy that we are going to see over the remainder of the season. All right? If we get this version of Juan Soto, coupled with Lindor getting hot again, Nimmo being hot, sandwiched in between those two guys, Alonso continuing his consistent pace, this is the season that we're looking for. Mets could use another bat. I'll get into that a little bit later, but the Mets could use another bat. That 6 through 9 is looking a little slim right now, but it's been quiet. It's been quiet on the other side of town. I haven't heard anybody. Because for the first month and a half of the season, there was a lot of chirping going on from other fan bases. A lot of chirping. I just couldn't understand why. Because we have this guy for the next 15 years. Why would you start chirping now? Because you're still hurt. And I understand it. You're still hurt. You're still coping. You're still trying to get over it. Not every fan is a hurt. Not every fan misses them. Most of them won't admit that they do. But there was a ton of chirping going on. But now it's been really quiet. And I wonder why. It's because what you're looking at the bottom of the screen here. The statistics back up the impact that this man is having on a franchise. You can't talk about Juan Soto anymore. So now you got to focus on your own team, which has been pretty bad over the last 2 weeks. And if you know what team I'm talking about, then you have some common sense. Because for the first couple months of the season, there's been more focus on Juan Soto than their own team. It's kind of sad to me. But now you don't hear anything, which is coincidental, because when things are going bad, you have the people that could go to the front lines and make fun of people, bullies. We call them bullies. But when things are going good, everybody takes a step back and says, oh, crap, that's the guy that we used to have. Simple as that. It's simple as that. Yankee fans were so mad that Juan Soto signed with the Mets. Very mad. The coping mechanism was to say, here's plan B. Here's Bellinger. Here's Fried, who's been outstanding. Here's so-and-so. Here's this guy. Here's this young player that we're going to play more. Plan B sucked. Plan B sucked. Plan B is not Juan Soto. Okay? And for the first month, the chirping from that side of town was embarrassing. Because you're bragging about 1 month of mediocre play from Juan Soto, because we have him for the next 15 years. So you got to be careful. But you're bragging about 1 month or a month and a half of not so good baseball to now he's been one of the best players in the sport. And now there's been nothing but quietness from the other side of town. You don't hear a thing. It's front running at its best. It is complete front running at its best. You kick someone while they're down, and then when they're up and they're performing well, as the numbers will state, you don't hear a thing. And it's sad to me. It's very sad to me. Anyway, got that out of my system. So, Mets finally broke their losing streak, which was very nice of them. Thank you very much. Thanks to Juan Soto and his 4 hits last night. But there's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. This team needs a couple of things, man. This pitching staff is not built to sustain a long season. The bullpen is starting to look a little taxed. I haven't seen Edwin Diaz in like a week because we haven't had a chance to throw him out there. So he should be rested. The guys are performing. Guys, hopefully Hopefully last night's 7 home run derby woke up this team a little bit, offensively at least. And hopefully moving forward, this is the team that we're going to be seeing again, which got them to 21 games over 500, which got them a 5-game lead in the National League East. And they get back to that because it's a long season. I think it's a 2-team race throughout the year. The Braves shot themselves in the foot, although they swept us last week. Chris Sale dove on a ball just to get a complete game, fractured his ribs. I don't wish injury on anybody, but going all out like that for a game in early June, I'm not doing that as a team. I'm not doing that as a player. You got to be careful. And now with the fractured rib, you don't know how long he's going to be out. I think the Braves set up their World Series last week. You want to do that. You want to set up your pitching staff the way the Braves did when it's like late August, early September, because you're down 5-6 games and you want to cut into the lead. Yeah. You don't do that in June when you're 14 games back. You don't do that in June when you're 14 games back. And now the Braves find themselves in a position where there's no wiggle room. They're going to have to cut more into this lead, which is still double digits. So, all right, the Mets are going to need a starter. Mets are going to need a bullpen guy. Mets are going to need a center fielder. That's where I think that their problems lie the most. If they could somehow get a catcher as well, I would love that. This team could desperately use a catcher. I mean, Alvarez homered last night. I'm not looking too much into that. It's one of those nights where kind of everything was going right for the Mets offensively. But again, the video is going to be sandwiched around Juan Soto, who is now showing Mets fans why they signed him to the deal that they signed him to. This is one of the greatest hitters of our generation. And you're starting to see the signs of how he could carry a team for a month and a half, 2 months. And as he goes, Lindor goes, Brandon Nimmo goes, Pete Alonso goes, Jeff McNeil's going. Now, if you can get anything out of the bottom of that lineup to lengthen the lineup a little bit, make it a little harder on the starting pitcher of the opposite team, that would be amazing. But this is the one. This is exactly why you wanted Juan Soto. You didn't sign Juan Soto. You didn't sign Juan Soto to be a Gold Glove right fielder, although he was a finalist last year. You didn't sign Juan Soto to be a Gold Glove right fielder. You didn't sign Juan Soto to have these to be a base swiper, even though he's got 8 already. You didn't sign him for all these. You signed Juan Soto to be a hitman, to be a guy who is going to be a stone cold killer who just cares about winning. It doesn't matter where it comes from. He just wants to win. He wants to get back to another World Series like he did last year, but this time he wants to finish it off and win it. And maybe now he has players around him that could actually help him, besides Stanton. Juan Soto's arrived. He's here. Mets fans, get used to it. Get used to this version of Soto, because this is the guy you're going to see throughout the rest of the year. It takes time. It takes time. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. It takes time to adjust. Everybody just thinks, boom, here it comes. Beltran had problems when he first got here. Lindor had problems when he first got here. Soto initially had problems, but now Soto adjusted a lot faster than the other 2 guys did. And the results speak for themselves. He's been one of the best players in baseball over the last month. Top 2, top 3. This is what the Mets signed up for. And now you're getting the best of Juan Soto, the home run hitter, driving in runs, OPS outstanding, leading the league in walks. Don't complain about him walking because they don't want to pitch to him. Even when he was struggling in the beginning of the year, they still didn't want to pitch to him. That's respect. That just shows. When's the last time the Mets had a player like that where he was struggling as bad as he is and people still pitch around him because they're that afraid of him? Voted by opposing pitchers this year in Game 7 of the World Series, who's the guy they would least like to want to face? And it was Juan Soto. MLB voted that, not me, not Mets fans. MLB pitchers voted for that. So here we go. Juan Soto's back, leading this team, hopefully to a division title. Very early to say, but he will make his way to the All-Star team, which will be great with these numbers. And let's go. This is the Mets season coming up. I would love to take this one against Philly tonight. Two games out of 3. Right the ship a little bit. Get revenge against the Braves. Again, guys, if you watch this, if you somehow stood all the way through to this, I appreciate it. Pudgy Boys Sports Talk on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe, like, share the video. Helps a tremendous amount. And let's go Mets.